So can you show me the questions? Okay, the question start with question 48. The question says f of x is equal to negative 3x plus 1, and g of x is equal to negative 2x squared minus 1. So they say there was 4-part question. They would say, what is f of g of x? I didn't write down the answer here because I didn't have enough room. But I'll write down the answer for you right now. G of f of x. This is called composite function. If you guys have never seen before, you should see it in last year. G of negative 1. You're going to see this a lot in calculus. We say this one is going to be negative 10, but I don't know yet. I'll just work it out. A, B, C, D is f of g of 1 is equal to something. Okay, so we're going to work this out one by one. Thanks, Kevin. So what you're going to start with is understanding this is called a composite function. A composite function, they can list as this. F of g like this. F of g of x, they can write it in this way as well. So you have to understand that. So first of all, understand what is the inside. Inside is g of x. So you're just going to replace the inside, which is this one is going to be negative 2x squared minus 1 like this. That should not be too difficult. I just replace whatever is inside. Now, those of you guys don't know what is f of negative 2x minus 1. That just means, pay attention. That means every x. So I'm going to write down like this. It should be negative 3 something plus 1. So it's negative 3x plus 1 for f of x. But instead of that, I'm going to replace this into the x. So negative 2x squared minus 1. So every x is going to replace whatever inside the parentheses. So that's equal to negative is equal to 6x squared plus 3 plus 1. So it's plus 4. So the answer is 6x squared plus 4. Composite function. I think this is the second time you sing, third time you sing it. You see in algebra 2, you see in pre-calculus, and then you see this is third time in calculus. Yes. Do I have to take out 2? No, not necessary. Long as you simplify, it's fine. You can try g of f of x. That one's a little bit harder, but that one you have to expect. I'm going to go to C first and let you try B first. So again, I'm going to say this is a negative 1. And then what I'm going to do is I'm plugging negative 1 into the g. So I should do that on the side. I say g of negative 1. That's equal to negative 2 times negative 1 squared minus 1. Whatever inside parentheses, you just replace as x. So that's equal to negative 2 times 1 minus 1. So it'd be negative 3. So that means equal to f of negative 3. And I'm going to plug in negative 3 in there. So negative 3 times negative 3 plus 1. That's equal to 9 plus 1, so it's 10. So the answer you got is 10 for C. So you can try for B and you can try for D. Now this question is on a test. If you don't know, this is called composite functions. The composite function is very, very, it happens very often in calculus. And if you don't know that, you're going to be in trouble. But this is an Algebra 2 curriculum, which is, that's a long time for you guys. Omar?
Could we do 29?
29? Okay, I'm going to leave 48 to you. I'm going to come back to that. 29. What's the question 29?
It's the square root of 75x minus 3 times the square root of 27x minus 12 minus square root of 12x.
Okay, hold on a second. Square root of 75x through which power?
It's just 1.
Okay.
Minus 3 times the square root of 27x.
Okay.
And then minus the square root of 12.
Like this?
Yes.
Okay, so I was teaching a very bad school before. I used to teach. I actually taught this class. like algebra 1 in summer school, in high school. That was really bad. Like average GPA is like 1.3 in that class. It was very bad. It was really bad. Like where is so bad that student like doing the spitball. I don't know if you guys seen spitball before. They shoot it,
Oh, really?
the
They shoot
paper, yeah, they shoot the paper into the straw, and they just shoot it while I was writing on a board. And like while I was writing on a board, it would stick on my board. Yeah, it was so like that class was so bad,
Like
so
movie
bad.
type.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I did kind of like movie shit too. So I pick up a desk and then I throw it across the room, like flew over them. Like they flew over them. You probably don't think I have that strength. I do. Um, it flew over them, landed on the wall, and fall on the ground. And it was really bad. It was a really bad situation. And from now on, there's nobody mess with me again because they see this scrawny little Chinese guy just pick up a desk and throw it across the room, and they don't know what I can do because I might do some karate shit on them. They don't know. So that class was really bad. So it was like a bunch of kids like this. I don't know. That's kids at 1.3 GPA. I don't know how to get 1.3 GPA. Even like team sports, you can get easy A, I think. Yeah. So, and then with that four, GPA is a 4, and team sport, you should get like at least a 2, I think. But it was really bad. So they failed average 3 times in that class. That algebra 1, they failed 3 times. I don't know. It's just bad. So like I got introduced like that was like the second year at teaching, and I got introduced like they just like yeah, you should come to my trap house. I'm like, okay, what is trap house? And I look at them, they're like telling me like, what is trap house? And I don't know what a trap house is. And they were like, yeah, just like people doing drugs in a house, and they get surrounded by police. I'm like, okay, that sounds like interesting. Um, so except like I look up a urban dictionary and they told me just like a drug house. It's like they're not surrounded by police. Um, so anyway, so I was kind of just play along with them. I say, okay, well that's fine. That if you think about it's a trap house, it's fine. That there's like police outside. There's like a police right here. There's 2 polices outside and you're trying to escape this trap house. You're surrounded by cops. You're trying to run away, right? So the thing you kind of do is you're gonna have to try to escape. And so what you're gonna do is you can do something called prime factorization. And prime factorization is just break down the 75. Now I don't do it this way. I do it other way, but I'll show you this way. So this one is gonna break down to 5. You're gonna get 25, and this is a 5 and this is a 5, right? So you can break down this 3 5s here. Now
That should be a 3.
oh, that's 3. I bet. So hold on a second. This is 3. Thank you. So this is 3 and 5 and 5. And then you say, okay, well, I need to make friends. Like, okay, so imagine like I don't know. So imagine like those 2 Chinese guy here. They can speak the same language. They can try to escape. And we have a white guy here that they don't speak Chinese. So he's like alone by himself, right? So the Chinese guy trying to escape the jail, right? So since there's 2 cops, those 2, you can try to escape. But when you escape, there's only 1 survivor. That means one's gonna get shot. One is escaping, right? So that's gonna give you. So this is 5. When you're trying to escape, it's gonna be 5. And this 3 still stuck inside. So it'll be 3x, like this. Okay. That I just simplify the square root of 75x. Is that okay? So one of them's gonna get shot. Each group is only 1 survivor. Got it? Yes.
Could you do 53
Yeah, when I finish this one.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah. So the same thing on this one. This one's gonna be 3, 9, 3, 3. And this is x. Well, you can take out 1 3 out. Even though there's 3 Chinese guys here, but only 2 need to make friends to get out. So that short guy doesn't matter. So that's going to be 3. So when you take out 3, it's going to multiply this. It's going to be 9 to the 3x. Any questions? Yes.
Seventy-five x to the third power.
We're going to talk about that in a second. Okay, so I'm going to give you that situation. Now, I hear that it's going to be 2, 6, and then 2 and 3. So you can take out 2, right? So that's minus 2 square root 3x. So it turns out they are like radical. If they like radical, they can subtract just due to coefficients. So in this case, it's going to be 5 minus 9 is negative 4. Negative 4 minus 2 is going to be negative 6 square root 3x. And is that the answer?
Yeah.
Okay, so to answer, what's your name again? Your name? Huh? Jaleesa. Okay, to answer Jaleesa's question, it's a very good question. What if you have 75x to the third? That's going to be 3, that's 25, and that's 5 and 5, right? You form 2 friends, 1 survive, 5, and then 3. Is that okay? But x also have x times x, so you can form 2 friends here, and one's going to get shot. So 5x, 3x. Because the other one doesn't have enough to get out. Did that answer your question? Yeah. X to the what? So you think about it, you can form 2 groups. So it's like you're playing basketball, right? You want to play 2 on 2, and there's 5 people. You can only form 2 groups, right? Each group has a captain. So it's going to be x squared outside because there's 2 groups, and there's 1 left over. It's like me when I go play basketball. I'm always last to get picked up. Right? So. Yes.
So like you said like this like square root, right? So you only need to find 2 numbers.
Yeah, if it's third root, that means you need 3 per group.
Cube root of.
Yeah, 3 per group. Exactly. Good questions. So what Simon says, what if it's third root? What is third roots? Right? If we imagine that if you have third roots of something, let's say x to the 7. Now, how do you simplify third roots of x to the 7? Yeah, 6 and 1, but you can take out 2 group of 3, right? So it'd be x squared square x, like this. That's a proper way because you can 7 divided by 3 is 2 with remainder 1. That remainder is going to stuck inside. Can you, Omar, can you explain to him? So I'm going to go back and do this one. This one is going to be g. F of x is going to be negative 3x plus 1. And I use the negative 3 something minus 1. This something going to be negative 3x plus 1 square. Oh, by the way, please don't kill a puppy. I'm going to talk about why you don't kill a puppy. Does anybody know what's 2x plus 1 to the square is?
4x squared plus 4x plus 2.
Okay, so the problem is some people always think about 2x plus 1 squared. They think about 4x squared plus 1. Does anybody think like that? Yeah, there's a formula. It's called perfect square binomial. If you think like that, that's bad because technically you can go to Google and you can search something. You can search, let's say, like kill puppy math. Like, you know, it's like one of the first thing comes out. Like every time you do this, a puppy die. Like, yeah. So if you just distribute that square, that's bad. But if you write down x squared plus 3 squared, it should be x squared plus 3 times x squared plus 3. So there's a middle term. It should be x to the 4 plus 6x squared plus 9. That's a proper way to think about it. But if you do this, every time you do this, a puppy die. So yeah, do not do that. So So when I have something square here, I'm gonna get -2 times -3x plus 1 times -3x plus 1 and -1. So I'll actually work it out. So it'll be -2 times 9x squared minus 6x plus 1 minus 1. So you actually eventually equal to -18x squared plus 12x minus 2 minus 1, so it's -3. So that will be the final answer for that particular one. For B. Yes.
I'm not sure if somebody's before me, but could we do 30?
Actually, they are Rhea, right? Rhea. Okay, what was the question?
53.
Okay, so let me see that and I'll answer your question. 53. That's a very specific. Okay, 53 L and M. Yeah.
So for like a question that you just made on a test, lots of factor out.
What?
Like, would you want us to like factor that out? Or?
Distribute that out. Yes, always. No, not
We're not
distribute. Distribution. If you try to break down the parentheses of distribution, if you make a parentheses, is factoring.
No, I'm saying like, see how the answer 18, trinomial.
Yeah, no, you don't have to factor. You just keep it like that. Yeah, you can factor it. I don't think so. No, you just keep it like that. So question 53, L and M. That's kind of strong questions, I would say. If you guys don't get that far, it's okay. But yeah, this is a good question. So it's like this. And come here. And like this. And like this, fill in circle. So she says, can you help me write down graphing the absolute value of g of x? That's actually pretty interesting because you graph. I'm gonna use the red. I'm gonna use the orange. So if you graph the absolute value basically make it a negative graph positive. So anything below x-axis gonna have a mirror image. And it's gonna have this, gonna have this. So that is the graph of absolute value of something. If you absolute something, basically anything below the x-axis gonna invert that part, and that's gonna flip upwards. And that's what happened for that. If you use positive, it's gonna stay positive. It's not gonna change to negative because absolute value doesn't not make information negative. It make information only toward the positive. So if you see that the blue part here on the bottom here, it's gonna have mirror image, just like in the mirror, and just reflect upwards. The one on the top, it's gonna stay upward like that. It's not a problem. It can, but usually that's one reflection I don't really care about. It's called f of negative x. They will invert the other way. Hold on a second. Let me answer M. So they say name the piecewise function, and I think that's not very specific. And I did that on the test as well. So it is on the test. Name this piecewise function. And I remember last year somebody just say, I want to name it Bob. That's not what I'm trying to say. Name the function is write down the piecewise function that can represent that exact same thing. So first of all, I'm going to represent this line. So this line here, if you extend it, it's going to go to here. So that's going to be y equal to x plus 2. Now you have to write down the restriction because the restriction is from this part to this part. So it's going to be -5 less than x less than -2. That's the first part of the piecewise function. Second part of the piecewise function is going to be this part, which is I'm going to use this pink part. Is this pink part. So that one is going to be y equal to negative x minus 2 because the y-intercept is at -2 and the slope is -1. And that's going to be from -2 less than x less than 0. One of them should be equal to because a solid point there. The next one is this one here. So that's going to be y equal to 2x minus 2 because the slope is 2, y-intercept is -2. It's going to be from 0 less than x less than 2. And this is open circle, this is a closed circle. And the last one is y equal to 2 when x is greater than, or x is between 2 and 3, 2 and 5.
It's kind of difficult.
Yeah, it's called piecewise function. I don't know, depending on your teacher. If you have Cooper, probably talk about more, right? Do you have Cooper? Ollie? Ollie probably didn't spend too much time on piecewise. But you probably spend, if you have Cooper, we're probably gonna talk about more because I think this is more important in calculus. But in algebra 2, we actually did it. In calculus, we actually did pre-calculus. I did it because I teach different, so I teach where the build it's in here. What? Yeah, that's the answer L and M. Hopefully, I answer your question. Okay, Simon.
So like on the graph, it's like you put like both the non-solid points. You put like two.
Yeah, so
What's the difference between like the black one and
black one's fill in, the white one is not fill in, so it's open circle. It's not equal to. So it's not equal to. It should be a less than or greater than, but not greater equal to or less than equal to.
yeah, but like you also like when you write the piecewise function, it is like
So that part I'm not. This restriction part I'm not big. I'm big on that, but I'm not worried about are they greater equal to or less equal to, long as you give me the right restriction. It's from where to where. So for example, the first part is from here to here, so it's -5 to -2. The second part is from here to here, it's from -2 to 0. The third part is from here to here, it's from 0 to 2. And last part is from here to here, that's from 2 to 5. Now that part I care. I don't really care about the small detail, even though you should. But right now, I don't think I can get you guys that far yet.
first one is like -5 to
Yeah, so this one should, it depends. If this is open circle, according, oh, that's closed circle. So this one, I'm gonna do this.
one is
That'll be less equal to x, less than -2. The other one is gonna be, because this part is already equal to this is open circle, so this part is open circle, so therefore this is less than. And also this is less than as well. And for here it's filled in because it's greater, less equal to, and this one should be thus equal to, and this one should be equal to. And that's to be very precise. So I'm not very picky on that small part. I'm picky about other part. With do you have the right number from right number? Yes, Kevin.
Does the order matter?
Order does matter. I usually start from left to right, and that's how they describe the functions. It's from left to right. Yes.
30.
Huh?
We do 30.
30. Yes. Can you tell me what's question 30?
It's kind of a long one, actually.
Sure. Hold on. I can see it from here. I have it from here. 30. Oh, 30 is on the test as well. So on SAT, I tutor SAT outside, and I charge people a lot of money for it. And but SAT is very easy to crack. I think it's like one of the easiest tests to crack. You just have to know certain things. And this is one of the things that people are so underrated is at third grade. In third grade, you learn about this, right? So let's just say if you have at 1/5 plus 2/5 is equal to what? 3/5, right? But the problem is nobody knows that they can go backwards. Okay, 3/5 is equal to 1/5 plus 2/5. Nobody know that. I don't know why. So it's simple. A plus B over C is equal to A over C plus B over C. This is very simple ideas. You learn this at fourth grade, but you learn it the other way. You learn that A over C plus B over C is equal to A plus B over C. But those are very standard. I call it split. You have using quadratic formula, you using different things. So with that being in mind, it says this is question 30 is like that. So 3x to the square y to the third minus 6x to the third y squared plus 12x to the fourth y over 3x squared y to the third. And sorry about a typo on the bottom. It doesn't matter. It's just y. So what you can do, you can split them because the bottom is one term. This is a very powerful technique in calculus and really emphasize on this question because you're going to use a lot. And hopefully you see that. Hopefully you see that the bottom's one term, you can split all three terms up. And why are you doing that? Because it actually make life easier if you just simplify it. That's 1 over y plus 2. Oh, sorry, this is negative. Negative 2x over y plus 4x squared over y squared. And that's it, I'm done.
And if we had like the denominator, like two different terms.
Two different terms, you cannot do that. Only if it's one term. When the bottom is one term, you ask a great question right now. Omar, if the bottom is one term, always split each individually. If bottom's two terms, is probably something else you have to do, which is, let's just say it's 31. That's actually 31 is same as 30. The bottom's still one term because it's 5x to the negative 1y squared. That's all one term. It's just multiplying. So when you get to, let's just say question 35 and 36, they're a little bit different. Yes, Amanda?
Can you do 35?
Can I do 35? Yes, I love to do 35.
Can you do number? We're like, how do you do that part again? How do you get 1? I got 2 minus. I got the same thing, but I just got 2.
Which one?
Same question, but I have 2 minus everything else because I thought
Wait, which one?
the same question.
Oh, that's 2. Probably. Oh, yeah, this is 3. You're right. So wait, hold on a second. I make sure I copy down the right question. Sorry.
I think there's a typo.
Oh yeah, this is just 1, not 2. This is just 1. Because 3 over 3 is 1. X squared over x squared is 1. Y3 to the y3 is 1. So it's 1 minus 2xy plus 4x squared y squared. Yeah,
I accidentally put 6. Sorry.
that's okay.
So 35.
35? Amanda says you have question 35? Yeah. Amanda says 35. 35 has 3 different ways to approach it. I like this way, so I'm gonna go over that first. And I'm gonna go over the shortcut, and I'm gonna go over the way that sometimes work and sometimes doesn't. So for me, like for you, like first understanding of this is 2 over x does not divide by 4 over x squared because there was invisible things happen, and this invisible things happen is right here. They never write down the parenthesis for whatever reason, but the parenthesis is there. If a parenthesis there, that means the priority, it should be adding and subtracting inside the parenthesis. So if it's adding and subtracting, guess what? You know how to add fraction, hopefully. If you're in calculus, this one should be multiplied by x over x. So then you will get, now you have same denominator, so you will get 3x, 2 plus 3x, like this. Over, if I multiply this x squared over x squared, so you have a common denominator, x squared, 4 minus 9x squared. Hopefully you have this part. Any questions so far? Does that make sense or no? Yes? Okay. So now this means this quantity divided by this quantity. So it'll be 2 plus 3x over x divided by 4 minus 9x squared over x squared. So when it's divided, keep change flip. That becomes times x squared over 4 minus 9x squared. Except this times x squared. This one is going to be 2 plus 3x. It's called difference of a square. and this will cancel out, and this x will cancel out. So it'll be x over 2 minus 3x.
Solve it so easily.
Yeah, there's actually an easier way. Can I show you the easier way? Yeah, sure. But this way is probably the best way to go to. You'll take care of all the problem. The second easiest way is going with this way. This is the easiest way, but I just think about a lot of time I'd rather student not to do this just because it's more risky, because if you don't know what you're doing, then it's bad. So what I'm gonna do is I'm multiply top and bottom by this. I'm gonna multiply by x. I'm gonna multiply top and bottom by x squared. The thing is, it's hard to figure out why it's x squared. Usually, students not able to figure out it's x squared. Basically, I look at the x and the x squared. I look at the higher power. So I multiply top bottom by x squared. If you multiply top and bottom by x squared, they just multiply by 1. You're not changing the fraction. You just change the way it looks. So when you multiply this, that x would cancel out, so you're left with 2x plus 3x squared. On the bottom, it's just left with 4 minus 9x squared. So you become a very simple fraction when you distribute it. After that, I'm going to take out the x and 2 plus 3x over 2 plus 3x and 2 minus 3x. So still very similar difference of squares. So the answer is 2 minus 3x. That's an even easier way. But this one's more at risk because people don't know, do they multiply by top and bottom by x or top and bottom by x squared?
What if the top power is bigger?
It doesn't matter. You multiply by the bigger one.
So if it was like x cubed, then you multiply both by
X cubed, yeah. So that's called, I don't know what's called. That's a very like unique way to do something, but yeah, this is one of them.
What did you mean by like it doesn't take care of and not work every time?
Yeah, so this will work with every time. So I prefer this over this. This is more risky. And there's actually a third way. That way doesn't work every time, which is most people prefer that way. It's my least preferred because not all the time you have that way. Yes? 19 and 20. Okay, got it. 19 and 20. That's easy. So that's just a points law form. Yeah, that will be on the test for sure because you need to know this. 2 comma negative 3. You must have a point that goes through 2 negative 3, and it's parallel to 3x plus 4y is equal to 7. So when parallel, you have to get information of this line. So the only information I'm gonna get is slope. It's on SAT, whenever show you on standard form, always convert to y equal to mx plus b. That's just one thing that you can do. So minus 3x plus 7, and divide by 4 on both sides. That's y equal to negative 3 over 4x plus 7 over 4. And this negative 3 over 4 is the fundamental things that you want to get because you want a line that's parallel to that. So it's going to be y, and this is a, please do me a favor. Please don't use y equal to mx plus b here. Please use Points law form. You're going to find out Points law form is your best friend in calculus because equation tangent line, it's much easier to do Points law form. If you do slope intercept form, there's a problem. That you have to find a value of b. And that b is, if you get it wrong, then you got a question wrong. In this case, you don't have to find b. Guess what? Y minus y1 equal to m times x minus x1. Just use this equation. Y minus negative 3. So y plus 3. The slope is going to be negative 3 over 4 because it's parallel. And that's going to be x minus 2. And you're done with equation line. If you want to get any other form, guess what? Just get it from here. So y plus 3 equal to negative 3 over 4x plus, I don't know, 6 over 4, so it's 3 over 2. And then move the 3 over, so it's going to be negative 3 over 4x plus, or minus 3 over 2. Yeah, minus 3 over 2. Uh-huh. Opposite reciprocal. Slope if it's perpendicular. Good question. That's a next question, right? 93/4. You can change that 4/3 because you're gonna have to flip and add a negative sign in front of it. So 93/4 change if perpendicular will be 4/3. That will become a new slope. Yeah, you learned that in algebra 1. Now I can multiply everything by 4. So that's gonna be 4y plus 3x. If I multiply by 4, that's gonna give you, I believe this is -6. I think this is one form, this another form, this is 3 forms, 3 different forms that you can get.
I was
Yes.
confused because the answer wasn't the same.
Yeah, you had to be able to do all 3. But I always start with the point slope form, and I'll get other form afterwards, just because I think the point slope form sometimes they say in a calculus something called equation tangent line. Basically, just do it in point slope form, you're done. If you do it y equal to mx plus b and you got a wrong b, that's where you got a wrong answer. So you don't risk that. You just plug in the value into the equation and you're done. You move on to the next question. Now, sometimes on your multiple choice, it says, hey, I want my equation line in standard form. Then you can convert it to standard form. Y equal to mx plus b form, convert it. But it's free response, always stick with point slope. I don't know which one I should go with. I'm gonna go with the tall one. Oh, I'm gonna go with the ugly one. Go. No, I'm not saying you're good looking either. So
Could you go over
17.
sounds
Okay, 17 is pretty hard. For now, I don't want to go with 17. I just don't think it's. I will put that on the test. I would put 3 on the test. 3 is a number line test. You have to show number line test. If you don't show number line test, you don't get credit. Yes. Yes. What? Yes, you can bring it to me. Pass them.
I was gonna ask for 18 and 19. You know how you wrote 3 forms?
Yeah.
Do you want on the test? Do you want us to write one? Or...
I will tell you which form I want. Which one? Number what?
27.
27?
It's over here.
No, it's not. Oh, there's.
I know it's so
Hold on. The problem is, no, that's not correct. Wait. Hold on. The first term is correct. If this is 4. Okay. 3. 15.
on yours.
I think this is x right here because it's x to the 5th. It should have an x here.
Okay.
And 98, you didn't do it yet. 98 is 2 times 7 times 7.
It ends at 53. Or is that?
You should know everything.
Okay.
But yeah, what is test content is going to be within first 53.
So you divided it by 4 so you can find out what m is, right? So you can plug it back into the equation. The y minus y1.
Yeah. I divided by 4 is because that's the slope.
Can I ask you about 31? So I factored out 5x
No, you don't factor out the split.
to split them.
Yeah.
And I just divide normally. What do I do with the x to the power of -1?
2 minus -1 is 2 plus 1. So let's just say a to the m over a to the n. This is rule. A to the m minus n is top minus bottom.
Okay.
So it'd be 2 minus -1 to n x to 2 plus 1. So it'd be x to the third.
I got you.
And the y to the third. Yeah.
Thank you. How do I join the WhatsApp?
Okay. Anybody have not joined WhatsApp yet? Come talk to me. And there were some people helping other people out in the WhatsApp. So, and that's how I post my homework. So, yeah. So get a. No, the answer in there is wrong. Yeah, it's like a 139, square root of 139. So if you got, yeah, square root 139 inside the square root, but inside the square root is wrong. It should be plus 4 times AB, 4 times AC.
Oh, I'm still wanted you to check.
Sorry, ladies first. What happened?
I was still asking you to check. I just fixed it.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's the answer?
Yeah, but there's an X here because you extra a third. This is thing, so you can take out 7x square root of 2x.
Okay, because on yours it said 24x up here.
I don't know. I don't think that one's wrong. So I'm gonna go that back to double check.
The WhatsApp wasn't working for me. Can I rescan?
Yeah, of course.
Appreciate it.
That's not like white people.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
Thank you.
What's your name again?
Adam.
Adam. I'm really bad with name. I'm gonna ask you like 10 times,
That's okay.
and you'll be like, "Why does this guy keep on asking 10 times?"